I had to save this chapter for the last chapter because this, I believe, is probably one of all these things are important. You can't falter without any of them. But
Mm.
mental toughness.
Woo! Say it again for the people in the back. They ain't quite hear you. What you gotta have, Arnold?
Mental toughness. This
This
chapter
ain't for the
of
weak.
mental toughness is not for the weak hearted. My
Yeah.
goodness, this is not for the weak. Listen, I'm talking to you. Whoever's looking at this, I'm talking to you. If you ever in your life think you want to play this game, you better stop.
Oh
Oh my
man.
goodness, you have to have. I think I need to go back and just write my own, just a solo book of just mental toughness in the game. That might be the title right there. Just branch
That is a
off.
good. Hey, mental toughness in the game. I like that, bro. I
That
like that.
might be the next book right there. Mental toughness in the game. We'll be going over going over that book the next time. But
Yeah.
overseas basketball, let me just say this. It is a wonderful, amazing experience.
Facts.
You hear me?
Yes.
If the whole reason I wrote this book and we get on these podcasts and we talk about this is because we want everybody to experience the life of overseas basketball. It is such a great life. Like the ups, the cons compared to the pros is immaculate. It's just too much. But
Mm.
but there is a mindset that must be had to enjoy that life, to have this life, because it will chew you up and spit you out. It will chew you. You already gave you the stat. Over 70% don't make it past their first year. Okay, there's so
Like I
many
said,
things.
I thought the percentage was gonna be higher.
I might have to go back and do some more research. But even if that's the baseline, 70%, 70%, and a lot of that is because they're not mentally prepared.
Fact.
I know guys that have been like great opportunities, man. I can't do it, man. The coach, the food, the language, uh, the country. You know what a culture shock? Do you know the definition of a culture shock? I don't think people understand that.
Mm.
I'm gonna give you the first time I went to Saudi Arabia. The
Oh,
first
I've
the,
been out there too. Goodness great. They do things a little different. That's
a
all I'm gonna say.
little, a little. If your mind is not prepared to handle the way, get out of your box. Get out of your box of whatever you're thinking that, whatever you expect this life to be, forget about it. That's why you gotta go get a mentor so they can try to just throw you a few tidbits and just so you can be prepared and they can tell you, hey, when you get to this situation, this is what you do. Because
Mm.
what you go through when you go through a season, trying to tell, the first time I tried to go vegetarian overseas, I couldn't even explain to you the difficulty I had to go through. That was a mental test. That's a mental test. That's not being able
Bro,
to eat. Not being my first year. It's just so many stories.
yeah, bro, I've been overseas so long and been in so many countries where they don't speak English, and I can only imagine, bro.
Man,
I imagine you got some hilarious stories to that, bro.
I just remember, like now, granted, I could speak Spanish, but my first year, I couldn't speak Spanish. Didn't have Wi-Fi. Didn't know where I was at. Plane got delayed. Didn't know where to go. First thing you gonna think about, I want to go home. I miss just that fast. Not even one game in. Think about this. My first year. Actually, I made it. I signed to Mexico. Was there 2 weeks. Got cut. Thanks to my networking skills connections with my brother Rashad, got me on with an agent that got me on in Colombia. First year out there in Colombia. Owner ran out on us. We didn't have no food to eat. We stayed in a 1 bedroom with 8 bunk beds. 8 bunk beds. No Wi-Fi. The owners didn't pay us. He paid us the first month and then skipped out. We was there for 3 months. Skipped out on us. And the bodyguard of the owner said he's gonna come back and shoot up the whole place because he didn't pay us.
Bro, all I can hear in my head was that 70% of hoopers that
Oh,
you said was saying, "Oh no, I'm out of here.
that was the
I'm
first
leaving,
year.
bro. I'm out of here." Like I could just hear that 70% though. That 70%
Mm-hmm.
saying like
I'm done.
looking around, like you said, mental toughness. They get me out of here.
Get
This
me
ain't
out
for
of here.
me.
Listen, all that
This
happened in
ain't it.
all that happened in my first year of playing. Think about it. Like Shannon said, let that sink in for a second. My first year ever playing professional, I got cut after 2 weeks. I went to Columbia. All that happened. Owner ran out on us. Got didn't get paid. Wasn't eating. Had to go to the American embassy to try to get a ticket just to go home because I was stranded. Got signed to go to Saudi Arabia right after that. Got cut after 5 days. This is all within a 6 month, 5 month period. That 70% might be 85. Cause I don't know that
Bro,
the mindset
I was gonna say 85. I was gonna say
gotta
85.
be like 85. Has
It's
to
gotta
be.
be because I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like you said, overseas basketball is an amazing experience, and I love it. I truly love it. It's helped me see so many parts of the world
Man.
that I never thought I would ever see. It's one point growing up in Riverdale where I was like, bro, I can't ever see myself set foot in another country. I randomly thought about London, from time to time, like especially getting towards my senior year, because I'm like, okay, I'm about to be a man now. I might have to go overseas to play basketball. And like the only place I can really think of was England at the time, just because we're America. We don't really think about other countries like that. You know what I
You
mean?
ain't
So
thinking of Saudi Arabia.
no, Saudi Arabia, boy, never at that time, boy. But like you
Oh,
said, bro, it's like I said, it's a beautiful blessing to be an overseas basketball player. But man, I done walked into some situations like,
oh
bro, this ain't what I signed up for.
no,
This ain't what I thought it would be. But it's like, how bad do you want it? You know
man.
what I mean? Because this is the thing with being an overseas basketball player. You only really clock it in for 2.5 hours, maybe 4 hours if you're working out. Then you got the rest of the day, do whatever you want, and you getting paid for it. So if you tell that to a man who hate his job and hate punching in the clock and doing something he really don't want to do, he'll probably trade places with an overseas basketball player any day of the week. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know. That mental toughness is gonna help you oversee that negative situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you could have easily said, "Hey, Deuce, bruh, I went here. They put me in a horrible position, and then after that,
Horrible.
I
Horrible.
got cut after 5 days." Like you said, that 70, 85%, they done.
No,
They
you're
done.
done.
They seen it. They seen it. But because you mentally tough, you said, "All right, that was a horrible experience, but it is what it is. It's not gonna stop me from seeing what the next experience might bring."
How bad you
And
want
then
it?
after that, look at you. You won 7 championships. You a legend out in certain countries. They love you out there. And it's
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't give up. It's because you finally found a good situation. And that's how it is. That's how it can be overseas. Yeah, bad situations. There's nightmare situations, but not every situation overseas will be like that. There'll be some situations where you walk there and like, wow,
This is
boy, they
great.
gave me a little mini mansion. I
Mm-hmm.
get I get 3 meals a day. I ain't gotta spend no money on food. They give me money for gas, you know what I mean, to get around the city, like, and they paying me on time, like,
Oh,
man,
when you gonna get done paying on time, boy? We don't even
paying
want to
on time be the
start.
biggest one, boy. That'd be the
They
biggest
late right
one.
now. They late right now. I had to hit them up. Like, hey man, My day was the 12th. It's the 17th. What's good? Oh yeah,
Yeah, bro.
today you said today, and it's about 7 o'clock, and I ain't heard nothing. Let me tell you
Man.
something. The number one word that every basketball player, if you ever play basketball overseas, I'm gonna tell you the number one word you will hear more than anything in your entire life. What word is that, Rashad?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow. And if you
tomorrow.
in Spanish, mañana. Mañana,
Yeah.
mañana, tomorrow.
If you was in I know it don't translate to tomorrow, but if you in Saudi Arabia, inshallah, inshallah, yalla, yalla, inshallah.
Got three
You
different
have your
languages
money.
for
You
you.
have your money. You have your money.
Three different languages.
But
Shala, mañana, tomorrow. Okay, that's gonna tell you right there. They're gonna tell you tomorrow to death. I see somebody post a little clip.
what up, Troy? That's my boy Troy. PJK. I know what you talking about, my boy. Hey, we're gonna get you on the live podcast. My boy Troy Simons. Pittsburgh's finest, man. But yeah, he know about that mental toughness.
Man, mental toughness, man. We can go on for hours about that, but it's just the one way I would say for you to construct and build your mental toughness is you got to have people with you who going through. It's kind of like those help groups, like when people I can't remember the exact name for them when they have like alcohol anonymous.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
have
It's help
that
group. Help
help
group. Yeah,
groups.
you do.
It's literally
Yeah.
the same thing you gotta have. Like you gotta have like group chats of people that you're close to that going through the same thing because you will fold and you will buckle and under all.
How many times have we talked to each other on our journey as a professional basketball player? I hit you up almost every day because I'm about to lose my mind over this basketball stuff. I have to talk to you.
You got
You
to.
are my help group.
I'm
If I,
telling you. You cannot do it
bro,
alone. You cannot.
yeah,
You cannot go
it's
through
so
this
crazy.
alone, bro. You cannot go through it alone. And I just got to bring up this one situation because you got to think about it. You've been through it. I've been through it. Like we've lost family members. You lost your mom. I lost my dad while being. I just wanted to just break this down real quick. I was going through a situation where I wasn't seeing my daughter because I was going through court situations, not seeing my daughter. And you're a parent. Imagine you can't see your son 4, 5 months. On top of that, you get a phone call one day say, "Hey, we can't find your dad." Not we ain't heard from him. We can't find him. The next day, "Hey, your dad is gone."
Mm,
Think about that. That you talking about just can shake, and that I ain't gonna lie, that shook my whole existence of my life. But
yeah.
that's the mental toughness that you gotta go through. Like it's so much. And then I left. I had to leave, go bury my father, because I had a commitment to the team. And I know my father wouldn't want me to not go back and play. I know. Came back 1 week later, had a championship game. 2, 3 days before the championship game, I was in the hospital because I was under so much stress. I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was about to die, Rashad. I'm like, and because my father just died, my heart was so broken from stress, felt like I was about
Mm,
to die.
yeah, bro.
That's
Nah,
that's
I
how strong it is, bro. That's the way good friends, good people that you could talk to that can just get you through it and just helping your mind and staying strong and being able to just deal with that. It's a lot. But in the memory of my dad, came back and won that championship though. came back and won came back and won that
definitely,
chip
bro.
though. Ah,
Definitely,
you feel
definitely.
me?
And like we talk about so many cliches, bro. It's 80% mental, 20% physical. You feel me? Or
Hmm.
just trying to actually do it in the physical. But like, bro, that's why we brothers, cause we go through so many similar life experiences.
The
You know,
parallels of life is crazy.
cause I lost my mom unexpectedly as well. I was like, I had been released in 2017. around right before Thanksgiving. And it's really a beautiful blessing that now that I look back on it. But like when I went home, and that's one of the tough things about playing professional basketball overseas as well, is you missing time with your family. And for me, I have a very small, intimate family, and it was really me and my mom growing up. You know, I don't really have a lot of cousins. I don't have any. I have brothers and sisters, but we're not really the closest like that. I love them. We get along, but we're not really, talk to each other on a daily basis or really check in on each other like
It
that.
ain't like
So
that.
really, my support system is really just my mom. That's it, and my grandmother, but she passed away as well. But yeah, so 2017, I got sent home from France, kind of down to the dumps, but I had played basketball for a whole year straight, so I was kind of happy to have a break. You know what I mean? I wasn't in a rush as soon as I got back home to find another team. Long story short, I stayed till about February back home in Atlanta, and then I got a deal to go play basketball in Australia in March. So, in that time, it had a beautiful time really connecting with my mom, just laughing because I missed it so much because like I said, you miss time with it. You know what I mean? I spent 9 months of the year overseas in a different country. And don't get me wrong, we calling each other, we FaceTiming. She following every single game. She know all my stats, but you ain't got that physical touch. I can't hug
Hmm.
my mom. I can't kiss my mom. I can't just laugh and joke and be silly with her. You know what I mean? So like when I went home, I kind of noticed because it was probably about my like 6 or 7 year overseas, and I noticed that, and I'm like, kind of got to me. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I'm chasing my dream, I'm living my dream, but I'm missing time with my mom, and she getting older, and her health is decreasing. And that year when I got home, sent home from France, it really hurt because I could see her health was just declining, 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 declining. You know what I mean? And it got to a point where right before I left, she had to right after I left, she had to go check into a hospital, and they found out like she had some internal bleeding and just a lot of complications going on, and they try to operate, but unfortunately she lost her life. You know what I mean? And that was one of the still is the toughest day of my life,
Always, still,
and the most
always.
devastating news I will ever receive in my life that my mom passed away. And I was overseas when she
Hmm.
passed away. I was in Australia. I couldn't hold her hand. I couldn't just give her that like last kiss on cheek while she is alive. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that pained me so much, bro. But long story short, I got to go home and I put it to rest. And like you said, I said to myself, do I? Because I really only like 2 weeks in when I just got to Australia, and I was like, I'm still kind of physically recovering, and with the death of my mom, I'm like
Your
missing her
mind is
spirit.
gone.
My mind is gone. It's not there.
Right.
But you know what? In honor of her, even though my mind was deteriorated, bro, it was gone, bro. I couldn't think right, bro. I went out there and went back to Australia and played the season anyway. You know what I mean? Because I was saying, just like the story I told of me not making a team, and my mom was like, "You going to that practice?" I had to do it for her.
You know it.
I'm going. I'm going back to Australia just to say nothing could stop me and my mom. You know what I mean? Everything we went through, it's because she wanted to see me rise above any obstacle thrown at me, even her death. You know what I mean?
Man.
So instead of using that as a pity, uh, the world is against me, a victimizing moment, I use it as a motivating, uplifting moment to rise above what I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm feeling like crap. Yeah, I'm feeling like I want to cry every 20 seconds. But you know what? I'm going to turn that into a positive and let that motivate me to reach greater heights I never achieved before. So in reality, really, her death has been a beautiful blessing for me. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
It's helped me stay focused and stay on track to being the person I want to become in life. And it's just made me hungrier on being successful, you know.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I feel like that too. It's always that defining moment. And it's so amazing. Like, that's how you know we've been brothers since day one. The parallels in our life of my father, your mom, we was overseas. and how it just made that shift in our lives to say, you know what? One, we're going to go back because we know our parents more. We're the oldest. We know them more, better than anybody else. And they know we know exactly what they would want from us, and that was to go back and continue to be great and continue to push and strive. And it's now we got something even more. Like I play more than just stats and just for say I play overseas. Like this means more to me. Did you know what I went through to get here? Do you know what I go through to keep going? You know, people tell me to stop. You remember? I remember my mom my first time when all that happened that year. She told me, you should go be a waitress." You feel? And my
Hey,
mom loved me to death. You feel me? Man, you should go be a waitress. And that just shows you, like, I can't quit and stop this because do you know how strong it has been in my life and how strong my mind has came and made me into the person and the man that I am today? Do you know how proud I am of you, of me, of the person I become? How many people just could look at themselves and say, I'm proud of the person that I am and constantly becoming because of all of the turmoil and hurt that I went through that built me up into the person that I am today. And as bad and as horrible as a lot of those stuff was, you would never change it because it changed me. Those changes changed me. It changed you. It changed us. And having your mind strong enough to be able to handle that, to be able to just say, no matter what, that's not an easy feat. That is not an easy feat. And that's why
yeah,
we're 13 years strong, going on 14, because you got that person next to you that you need to get through. Nobody can do this alone. Even God
yeah,
has three of him. You feel me? Nobody can do this alone. You that person that's gonna be with you, that's gonna rock with you, that's gonna push you through, that you can feed off of, and just help you get through everything that's just gonna happen in this life, man. It's a
yeah.
beautiful
I
blessing.
say,
That's what I would say. It's a beautiful struggle. A beautiful
yeah,
struggle. But
yeah. And
God is worth it.
I say for like all the professional, upcoming young generation that do turn out to have overseas professional basketball careers, like just know, like when you look back on it, like one of my favorite quotes, they were saying, uh, one day in retrospect, the days of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful.
Mm.
So all those times where you got up 5 in the morning, ran 2 miles, you're gonna think back and I'm saying that was the best time of my life. All those times where you was dog tired, your legs hurt, your knees hurt, your feet hurt, but you still in the gym shooting on the gun, trying to get to 1,000 makes on the shooting gun, and you're gonna think back when you 78, be like, man, that was the time of my life. Trying to chase
Man.
that goal, not being where I want to be, that made me feel alive. That made me feel human. You know what I mean? And that's what you gotta understand. Like that's why you gotta be mentally tough because struggles, problems, they temporary. They come and go. You know what I mean? You just gotta be strong enough to, life is like a roller coaster. You know what I mean? You just gotta be strong enough to just weather the storm, the ups and downs. You gotta just be staying even keel, and you know what I mean. Let your mental help you stay above the BS, the problems, all the stuff that's trying to stop you from being great. You know what I mean? So the struggle is the best thing that's happening to you.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.